Yep. So now we will say first, we'll say exactly what you call uh, mm, assertion of a data, how earlier we did what you call hard code. Now we will do generic way, can pass this assertion data from external file, so that it should be very useful for in future. Exactly, if you want, if you your application supporting in multiple languages, so in that case also we can handle. Now what I am doing, right, I have reading one JSON files, where from there I am reading a data. Exactly, so if you see here, string dot expected result, earlier we are hard coding this expected result. Now assume that this is a English. Now in future, assume that it comes to Spanish or Germany. In that case you have to again hard code each time. So instead of reading making this value dynamically or reading from any external source, so if it is a Spanish, you can make use of one file. If it is in German, you can make use of other file, so you can read that value from then you can do assertion. So you want the how many if you, how many language your app support, so it will pass. This test case will always pass actually. So how we'll do, first we'll take on JSON file. So I have in system config file only, I have created on a JSON file, like here expected output. This assume that this is a English, this is a Spanish, or you have one more file, what you call uh, German. So how many files it is there, you can create these many expected file. So expected output, like right, what is the expected output for header text. What I did, just I will show you. I'll log into that application, so better you guys will understand. Sorry, I will close this one. So I'm launching this one in same previous class. Login with this credential. Now my app is English, so I logged in. So this is my credential. Just I'm verifying this header exactly. So it in Spanish, it might change this manager ID. It will become something like in Spanish language, whatever it is there. So it will differ, right? So this how we'll verify in real time exactly, if it's Spanish, if it is German. So assume that it is supporting a 5 languages. Your app is supporting 5: German, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, like that. So anyhow, once user logged in, everything will be same. Only this content will get changed. Everything will be solved. So in that case, how we'll verify? That expected result, what you have to verify exactly. So same thing will write in one JSON file. So what I will show you. Properties. So how you have to create file, right? Right click here, go here, new file name, create a file. So file name dot JSON, you will give extension. So it will create, once you click yes, it will create on JSON file. Now you have to add. I'll open in a notepad, or you can open with whichever you want. So like header text is there, you have to verify sub header text if it is there. Whatever whatever it is there, you wanted to verify all the web element, whether changed to Spanish or not. You have to write all the web element, new customer, like just you have to add here. Just I'm adding header text, sub header text, new customer text. You can add whichever way you want. This is in JSON how it will treat, right? This is a key and this is a value. This is a key, this is a value. This is a key and value pair exactly. Now we are reading a expected out from a external source JSON file. So how we can write? Now we have created a JSON file. There are a file. So now what I did, right? I'm reading a JSON file. So in order to read a JSON file, same thing. If you remember how to read a property file, I show, right? Same way you can read a JSON file. Uh, this is what I'm passing again from system config file. I'm passing on a language exactly. If you see system config file, this is a language, which language you wanted to execute. It is a English. If it is a Spanish, German, you can mention here exactly. So you'll go to, will read this JSON file. Now you created a JSON file. You have to read, right, this JSON file. So you have to go read JSON file. So create a one class again. If you these things are like explained already, just go new, create a class, read JSON file. So there is a mm, I created one constructor read JSON file. So uh, file reader, through file reader I am reading file reader, new input file. This is a what you call path of that this file name. If you say system config file, I already explained exactly how to read this file reader file input stream. Same way it is here also. So I'm reading here. So what it is, this JSON parser, what to do, you have to, as it is a JSON file, so you have to make use of this JSON parser. You have to create on JSON parser, then you can create a JSON object. Exactly, these are two files, two what to call two objects we have to create. So JSON parser and JSON object. So now you create you loaded the JSON file. Now we have to put a parse that file exactly. So parsing means it will check whether JSON file is valid or not. So first you will parsing, then each things whatever it will consider as a one an object here exactly. So this parsing means it will check syntax, everything, that whatever JSON file first you will load, and it will check semantics, basically parsing it will do. After that it will take one JSON object, then it'll read file exactly. Same thing I'm doing here, creating one object, JSON parser, read, passing this input object, then reading object exactly. Now we have loaded this one. So file is loaded. If it is a what do you call, language is a English, you can load this English file. If it is a Spanish, you load this expected Spanish. If it is a German, you create one more file. Same thing, load a German file. So how many languages is supporting, just you keep need to add here exactly. Any doubt here? So now you adding, you can keep adding. So now we have to read each object, whatever it is there, right? Each object value you have to read. So how we have to read? Same, create one method. You wanted to read, right? Just added just public, right? Like public string. So get header text. You wanted to get this value header text, right? So just you wanted to get value of this header text. So get header text like this. You can write like this. Create one method. Now you need string. What you have to do, right? This is string. Sorry. What you have to do? This is written. So string, the return string. So JSON object, just a minute. JSON object dot get. If you type same thing, it will get the key. It will get the value based on the key. So my key is, if you see, my key is this header text. Now my key is here, header text. So just you have to add. What it will do, if you give this header text, it will fetch this value. It will always fetch the value based on the key. So if it is even though Spanish, so you will add same thing. Just a minute, I will show you. Go here. Now assume this is Spanish. So what you have to do right here, you can give anything here exactly, like Spanish text. Oh, so how it will convert to that manager ID, right? You have to give Spanish text here exactly. This is syntax is wrong. Just so same thing. You have to, yeah. So delete this and leave it. So assume that this manager ID only, like some span, like it will come as a like manager. Just you after converting it, you assume that it will convert as like this. Even if it's Spanish, so it doesn't matter. So it will read based on this key. So we are reading a value. based on the key. So if even if it is come to Spanish anything, it doesn't matter for us. So it will always read the value based on the key. So it will become a constant for us. Even the how many languages, if same thing, if you come to German, you create one more file. Here you mention that how it that text will looks in German. You paste here exactly. So now same thing I'm reading here. So we have reading. So how many, whatever the expected output, you keep add here exactly. No, you keep add here, keep whatever element. For example, if you wanted to verify everything text present, edit text, how it will come in Spanish, delete text. So you will keep adding. This is the syntax you have to add. This is key value. You keep adding here. So same thing, same way you can read here. So for example, if I return, assume that there is a splash screen text. So just splash screen text, how it will look, you fetch that. Like I will write splash screen text. I think some color got conversion, right? Just I don't know. Okay. You guys are able to see, right? This, I think yellow it's coming. Table open. Yeah, better like this also. Yeah. Now assume that there is a splash screen text you wanted to verify. I put as a splash screen text. So syntax. So what will be the splash screen colon? You put like welcome to the app like this. So in if it is assumed that here in what you call in it's English, German or Spanish, if something it will come span like this. So you can in Spanish text output you put same thing, just whatever the content is changing here, change the value like this. You can
Could you
mention.
please check the hello? Could
Hello.
you please check the spelling of splash screen? SPLASH.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can write anything here. So it should be for your what you call understanding
Oh,
purpose. So
is
you
it
can,
okay?
yeah. It is, you can write any key and value. This key is we are making a constant actually. So here now assume that I wanted to verify, assume that is a splash screen like welcome, it is there, right? So I given name as this is a welcome text or splash screen text. You can give anything whichever you wanted, this one. So next, if you delete edit customer, you wanted to verify, you how you have to add, like same thing you have to mention here, edit customer. So you know what is the output of that edit customer. So you have to mention as edit customer. So that text, you know, you put here edit customer text. So here what you, then you will return so many things. Now you have to, what you have to write here, like same thing you create. Sorry. Now you created so many files are there. Just you have to do write get edit customer text. You write like get edit customer txt. You get, then you put this one. This is a key. So we are fetching a key is a constant. So you put a key here exactly like this key. Able to understand, right? How many is the expected output? You keep adding here, so it will fetch the value. You keep adding here. How many expected output? You know expected output what it will come for each test case when you are doing assertion. So now we have added for all the different languages. So now we wanted to read this. You got already value, so you will do the assertion of this value. So sorry, this one. Okay. So now you know you wanted to, now I will create how we will read that JSON file, right? File again, you have to create a JSON file object class, read JSON file, read JSON. So you know actual result I am getting from a what to call dynamically from login page. Expected result also I am fetching from outside read JSON. If you write like this, we have created object read JSON dot get. Can you see How many get customer text is there, get header text is there, get splashing text is there. We created their class file. So just you have to write get header text. So then here if you see, now our test cases become generic, almost generic. There is no hard code value here exactly. Can you see anywhere hard code value here in our test cases? Our test case will run independently. How many languages come, it doesn't matter actually. If you want, if it's come for German, Spanish, whichever language it will come, it will always execute. Now I haven't even hard coded any single value in the test case. Can you guys observe? Now we'll execute same thing. So whether it will compare this, it will fetch from this value and check or not. If you see, I will pass this as a English here, so it will read this one. So login page test case. What is that? Yeah, will launch in. Yeah, this is our URL. This is the username and password they are passing. Our language English is there, so our test case will execute in English. I will run as TestNG test. So it should execute. Sorry, something happened. Okay. Oh, can you see here? Can you see here? Simple parse that issue we got, JSON issue. But can you see here? JSON issue we got. But see, null pointer exception. Somewhere we have to wait for exactly. In that case, JSON issue. I think we have made mistake here. Expected output. See, I've added so many things unnecessarily. See, we missed here exactly. I just have to add this one. Yeah, this will also reading this what you call expected output. This path is a mismatch. That's the reason I'm getting issues. See, can you guys see here? Expected output Spanish. If you see what you called read JSON file. Here I didn't mention the proper path actually, something base setup, something I mentioned. So if you mention this proper path here, it will come. That's also come. There is no issue. That just a minute. You will not get this issue exactly. Sure. I think it's running everything. It's running other things also. We'll wait. It's running for this test case exactly. Different invalid credential. That's the reason. We'll see. I will close. See. I will stop this one. We'll see how that only that particular thing will concentrate now. Can you see this test case is passed actually? If you see refresh, go to test output file. it will generate one email label report. Open it. Can you see here, guys? Actually verified user login. Actual result is manager, expected is a manager, exactly. So even though if it is give Spanish or German, it will fetch from here value. So it will give whichever value it will come, it will give. So if you see our test cases, we haven't hard coded in a single value of the test cases with respect of how many languages, how many anything. Even though if you what to call some object is got modified, means we can go directly change in here. So our test case will work independently now. Any doubt here? Exactly, we haven't hard coded anything here, exactly. So you have to write all test cases like this only. Just you have to create, whenever you are in real time application, you create a test cases like this only. Just copy same test case with different name, then you can modify according to your expected result, actual result here. What is actual result, expected result? Or you can write in single test case also. How too many assertions also you can write. One assertions you, for example, if you written a test case, you wanted to verify all the text here present in one test case also, you can verify. Write a multiple assertion here, exactly, that's it. Any doubt here?
No.
Yep. You guys know, right, how we made test case generic? Everything here, no hard code, nothing, exactly. We all made generic. We are everything dynamically or reading. Even though if you user wanted to modify something, you can modify in this file only. Our test case will work.
Ratikant,
Yeah.
when we create a JSON .json file, then it will come like this icon
Yeah,
once
this
it's
this is a JSON reader file, exactly. That's the reason it will come like this flower bracket, exactly. Yeah, this editor, through editor it is providing, so that's the reason. So you can what you call, basically, if you're feeling, just go and edit in a notepad and save, exactly. From here, go to open with the wordpad. If you see notepad, so just here edit like this, keep saving. This is JSON syntax, just open. You have to give like this only, this key value. Just if you have that is editor from Eclipse, so that's the reason it's showing like this. That you got right now. Yep. For this test case, now we made an entry. So now, for example, there are test cases which will come, exactly. You wanted to pass a data to the test cases, exactly. If you remember, we will make use of a data provider. So now same thing, I will created one more file, test data, like this. So I created a login with the invalid credential and data provider name. So you can create a different credential here, not different data provider, then pass the test data. Now my scenario, what I'm doing right here, so now we wanted to test with the different values at example. For example, if I wanted to test valid username, invalid password, invalid username, valid password, invalid username, invalid password. Now I wanted to test this kind of a scenario. How I can do? Just I will create a one this data set here. I am writing here, verify user is unable to log in with invalid credential. So then I will pull this, what you call, test data. If you remember, we learned this data provider, like how you can go call how we can, what to call, uh, call a data provider in a test class. So data provider, you make use of this data provider name, then data provider class, exactly same thing. How many what do you call, uh, parameter you wanted to pass, string, username and password. I'm passing same thing, string and username, password here. So it will read first this user, it will treat as a username, password. How many test data set you wanted to keep, you will keep passing. This is one test case. Now you assume that there is other test case, same thing, you create a different kind of a other test case, you give other test uh, uh, data provider name, then you create a different data set. For other test case, you wanted to, whichever the name, you pass this data set name there. So if you see how many test cases are there, you can pass the different based on the data set. So if somebody came, where is our test data, means they can check in this file only. Nowhere, no need to go in another class, they can solve. It will easy, right? Somebody came that where is the test data is available, so these people will come and here only they'll check. Even though if that particular test case some data issue means, they directly come and check that data provider, and they can mod. If any issue with the data set, they can modify here, right? so no need to go and check. So this is a, we are making standard, actual standard way. So we are telling that we'll always read a test data from a data provider. So you write how many test data is there, you can create so many data provider name and you can make use of. And again, it is a like depends on person to person. This data also, some people what will do, again they will this data also read from, again they will create one more JSON file, they will write their own method with respect to what you call test case name, then pass the value based on the test case name. It depends on how you wanted to, you can write do. Any doubt how we can what you call? So now same thing you will what you call? So we'll just verify here. I don't have this assertion here, what to verify assertion. So same thing right here. Then again expected result, then actual result what you want to verify here. If you get a exact where it went, what you will get, maybe error code you wanted to validate here, exactly invalid username or invalid password. So identify that one, then pass here. Here like this you can pass here error code like this, means you know right what is this one expected output. So they what it depends on invalid credential, you wanted to read like this. So just you have to read from here, exactly. So then you can same thing, you make use of this expected result put string dot read here. So here instead of get invalid error code, so just you have to create a method name here, exactly, if you remember. So you have to read JSON file. Yeah, you have to create one more method name like this. Get invalid error code message, error code msg text. So you pass this key. So key is a constant here, exactly. So based on the key, it will fetch a value. So value will here only we are changing value. If you guys remember, key is a constant for us, whichever language it is there. So that's the reason that JSON advantage while we reading, we are making use of a key, reading the value based on the key, because key is a constant, even the value got changed doesn't matter for us. So value will fetch dynamically based on the key. So whichever Spanish, German, whichever language come, it doesn't affect us also, exactly. We are passing a parameter here, based on the parameter file it will fetch here, it will read from here, exactly. Spanish, German, you can keep adding this file loop. So yeah, if loop. So like this, read dot for I will show you. It's just get, can you see invalid error text message, you can like read. So I will comment here. Any doubt, guys? So we have make use of whichever concept we learned, right? Selenium, we already everything we may make good use of in sorry, we take advantage of all concepts and writing a framework, exactly. Any doubt here? So how to pass a test data, how to what to call make a test case generic, everything we made here. If you see our framework now, if you see our framework is a almost at least one 90% of the scenario it is a generic. It will suppose internalization, so I18 or L18 localization or internalization it will support. So if you wanted to modify the test data, you can easily modify the test data from here, exactly. Or not expected output, if you wanted to modify, for example, assume that this is welcome to the uh, your output welcome to the app. Next time they will change, it depends also welcome to the our app. So you can easily modify it here, you can change here only, exactly, instead of there going modify independently. So what whenever you are modifying the data, you are modifying in only one file, so it will reflecting everywhere. So assume that you haven't took generic, you are keep hard coding. If it is Spanish, you have to write like a Spanish value. If it is a German, you have to write as German. So you are making otherwise what you have to write? You have to write one more test cases like verify user able to in Spanish. Then you have to pass hard code value. So you are instead of doing that, we have made generic file here, exactly. We are reading from generic file. here data. Any doubt here? So we, yeah, if you see whatever the concept we with respect to TestNG annotation, we use the data provider, we use XML file, TestNG XML file. Just here you can keep and add test case. Now I think I explained you this already. So you keep adding your class file. How many? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you keep add your what you call class file name here, exactly whichever class is coming here. Just to login page, the test case is there. Now whichever test case came, you'll keep add here and you can execute here, run as a testng xml file. Like I created testng1, testng2. So you just what you have to do it, copy and paste. Just you have to copy or paste you can do, or otherwise you can create one more testng file. Exactly, convert to testng, you can create, convert to testng. So it will generate like, see, you can remove whichever you want. So how many class files are there, those many class files are generated. This will I already explain in first while in testng class only, these things, everything. So if you see our framework, the framework is easy to with respect. Now will come with the advantages, how our framework is suitable, will dynamically handle or not. So if you see our framework is easy to when for example URL got changed, username is got changed, some browser something you wanted to execute in different browser. So our framework is capable to handle this kind of a scenario also.